I knew CTA, every song, every vocal, everything about that album by the age of 7, 6. I mean, okay, so my brothers had bands in high school, which puts me at around 7, 8 years old, right? They were either junior high school or high school, but they would rehearse at our house. We had this huge back room, which is like a family room.
Okay.
So all their musician friends would set up the gear and leave it there, and they would rehearse 2 or 3 nights a week. We're talking full-on band, massive band, 2 guitars, keyboards, horn sections, 3 singers, everything. So I would get behind the drum set when they weren't home and put the headphones on and put the music on and play and try to play along. Because I would just sit there and watch them rehearse and trip out, like, how are they making music, hitting that instrument or playing that guitar?
Mm-hmm.
I was more interested in watching them do what they were doing outside of hearing the song. And then those 2 elements came together. Then I remember one day I rushed home to beat my brothers so I can get behind the drum set. Like, literally, I was running home. I was like, they're not going to get home for another 45 minutes. So that day, my brother got home while I was behind the kit, because they always told me, do not touch the instruments. Don't touch. Did you touch my drum set?
Don't touch my drum.
And I freaked out when I saw him walk in the room.
Right.
And he said, no, keep playing. My brother said, keep playing. Because he was like, you could play. And I was just playing the 2 and the 4.
Sure.
Whatever song I was playing along with the headphones. And that was pretty much the beginning of, like, the drum calling me, so to speak, right? Like wanting to play. And here's a story about that too. My brother Bill, who found me hitting the kit, maybe I don't know, maybe about a year or so later, he was him and his girlfriend, which is now my sister-in-law, were headed to a concert. It was a Friday night, and everybody's in the house just hanging out. And my mom asked my brother, "Where are you guys going?" And he said, "We're going to go see a band at the Greek Theater. We're going to go see Chicago at the Greek." And I stood up, because that was my favorite band back then already. Right. I stood up and I ran to the door and I blocked the door. And I said, "You can't go unless you take me." And my brother said, "We only have 2 tickets." And dude, and I remember, like, my sister-in-law said, "You started crying, like, no, you have to take me. You have to take me." So she said, "All right, we'll exchange the 2 tickets and hopefully get a 3rd ticket. But we have to go to the theater to try to do it, to the Greek." Mm-hmm. Dude, I jumped in the car. We get to the Greek. They had great seats. They had 2 great seats, like dead center, maybe row 10 or something. The only 3 tickets available were against the wall, way in the back.
Right.
So we got those 3, and that was my very first concert. And my very first concert was Chicago. So
unbelievable. What
crazy,
are the odds that you get the gig however many years later?
Yeah, I know. It wasn't even in my thought process, not even when I started working as a musician. I mean, I was like, God, it'd be great to play the song, but never to be a part of the band. I remember years ago, I had mentioned to Wally, because Wally was playing percussion, and then Tris was on drums.
Was playing drums, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I told Wally, man, if by any chance you end up on kit, I said, because you never know what happens. I said, call me.
Well, and Wally goes, wow. Put it out there, don't you?
Exactly. You had to put it out there in the stars, man. You had to put it in the universe. And Wally, years later, I must have told Wally that like 7 years ago when he first got in the band.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and now, dude, we were supposed to be on the road right now.
I know. Well, they are road dogs, man. That I'll give them.
Dude, they've been touring for 51 years straight.
Who wins?
Well, 52
Tower of Power or Chicago in the touring? I mean, they're both neck and neck.
Yeah,
they're on the road all the time. It's just,
and that's the first thing Robert told me when he said, "Welcome to the band." He said, "Look, welcome to the band. We're happy to have you here." And he goes, "There's only one thing I ask of you." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Get ready, because this band works." And I said, "Start the bus. Start the bus. Let's go." But
you're not afraid of work.
Let's do it, man. Come on.
All right. So before we keep in the present, let's go back. So you went and saw Chicago. When did you get the opportunity to start playing some gigs, and how did that transpire?
Well, I think, okay, so first of all, we love music growing up. So then I started getting, as I got into my teenage years and able to drive, I started going more and more to the Baked Potato, to see live music, right?
By the way, those of you who don't know what the Baked Potato is, it's a very famous club in Los Angeles where the greatest musicians get to go play.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to explain that.
No, of course. It's in North Hollywood, and it's like one of the oldest clubs we have. And we're talking like from the late 60s or early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's the early 70s since the club existed. And so I would go. Well, first of all, I was already playing. I was playing in high school bands, playing drum set. Actually, I was playing drum set. I was about in 7th, 8th grade playing with a group of seniors from a high school.
Right.
It was a band that needed a drummer, and somebody said, "Hey, I know this kid, but he's a 7th grader, or he's 13 years old, and these are 17-year-olds." And so I remember like auditioning, I guess, and they were like, "Yeah, let's play." So it was a rock band. We were just covers, and I remember one time we played at a club, an 18 and over club, because the guys were 18, and yet I was 14, and we're playing, and the crowd loved it, and as soon as we were done, the owner came over and said, "Okay, you have to leave because I just found out you're 14 years old, so you have to leave." So he literally like escorted me out of the club. And the guys in the band were like, "Well, we don't want to leave yet. So can you just hang out? We're going to hang out." And I was like, "Oh." So I just sat outside, waiting for them to come out, because I was 14.